The Zacks rank, value, momentum, growth, and income all factor into Zacks rank buys.
Well, if you want a line on a couple of good aggressive growth stocks to consider for your portfolio, you've come to the right place, I think. Our aggressive growth stock strategist, Brian Bolin, is here with me. He says he has a couple of interesting picks for you. So we're going to take you at your word on that.
I think they're interesting.
Okay, let's talk about the first one, Future Fuel. It's a biofuel company.
Right, biofuels. And, obviously since the election, this stock has just been on fire. And, the idea is that when we have the big election bounce here, what we want to do is find strong names. And you can't get any stronger than a Zacks rank #1 strong buy stock. Mm-hmm. But then we take a look at something called, the style scores here.
Right.
And we have a clean sweep of A's across the board. This is nothing at all like my report card when I was in school, Terry. A's just didn't really mesh with my report card. I got D's and F's.
Oh.
You know what I told my parents what that meant?
Fine and dandy.
Doing fine, I did. But
cool.
Fine and dandy is a very acceptable one.
Reversed mine.
So we see the Zacks rank is #1. We see here is our style scores, A's across the board. Look at that forward PE, only 12 times next year's earnings. That's a very low multiple for a stock that has some good growth like this. So if we flip over here to the detailed estimates page, we can see that there isn't a lot of activity here with the analysts. Only one positive estimate revision for the current quarter, and then only one for the current year. If we see that the estimate moved from, I think it was $1 to $1.08. So here we have in the last 7 days. So the current year estimate went from $1 to $1.08. I think the next year estimate right here is still probably going to be revised here because I believe there's only one analyst covering it at the time. But also when we're talking about earnings here, 4 consecutive beats for Future Fuel, and they're not small beats. If we look at this page here, we can see that the average positive surprise here is 60%. That's pretty big, especially considering the most recent one was just 21%.
But something just struck me, though. You said A's across the board, right?
Yes.
None of that divergence that you always talk about that you like so much.
Usually I love to see that divergence, but obviously right here we're seeing a whole new paradigm shift here because we don't know how the new administration is really going to set the tone for next year, and there's still a lot of policies that are like up in the air and we don't know. So when I see something with all A's like that and the stock is moving like it is, I want to get on board.
Okay.
I just want to show the chart right here, the prices and consensus chart.
Okay.
So we can see that those 4 beats over the last year, that's a very good sign. But we also see that earnings estimate, moving up. So that's what we want to see on that price and consensus chart.
And it's been a recent Zacks Bull of the Day on our website also.
It was, just the other day.
So there you go. The other company is EMcor Group, building construction company.
Right, and this is kind of a real strong Trump play, if you will. Donald Trump talked about building a wall,
Yep.
right? So he's going to need a construction company to do that, or to at least assist in that. We also talked a lot about infrastructure repair. We're going to repair the roads, repair the bridges, all that sorts of things. So EMcor is obviously a pick in that space. We have a Zacks rank #1, not the best style scores with C for value and C for growth. But if we look at that 22 times forward PE and a $4 billion company, I like the sound of that. If we look here at the estimates, we can see that they're moving in the right direction. Next year moving faster than this year. So in the last 30 days, we have seen the number move from 310 to 320, and the number for next year move from 331 to 353. I'm going to whip along to the price and consensus chart here. If we see over time, this has been a slow and steady producer. Mm-hmm. Great thing to see. But really, the estimates, when they have come down over the last year, now moving back higher again. So that's what we want to see from a stock like this.
All right. Do you own either one?
I do not.
All right. Well, there you have it. Not all of them, but a couple of the latest aggressive growth stock picks from Brian. And don't forget, you can always get more information, not only on these 2 companies, but a lot of other stocks too, on our website, Zacks.com. Go over to the homepage, search it through, link to it all from the homepage, or search by ticker if you like. With Brian, I'm Terry Ruffalo.